The Chinese afterlife is one of the most fascinating and least known in the world, and it works nothing like Western heaven and hell. There's no eternal damnation. Instead, when you die, your soul enters a vast underworld bureaucracy with 10 courts, 10 judge kings, a detailed legal review of your entire life, punishments precisely fitted to your sins, and then, a bowl of soup that erases your memory before you're born again. This is Diyu, the Chinese underworld, and the wheel of reincarnation. Here's the complete journey of a Chinese soul after death. To understand the Chinese underworld, you have to understand one core idea that shapes the entire thing. The Chinese imagined the world of the dead as a mirror of the world of the living, and specifically, a mirror of the imperial Chinese government, with all its courts, officials, magistrates, paperwork, and bureaucracy. This is sometimes called the celestial bureaucracy, and the underworld was its lowest department, the department of the dead. So when you die in this tradition, you don't simply go to a place of reward or punishment. You enter a legal and administrative system. Your death is recorded. Spirit officials, often described as the ox-headed and horse-faced guards, the bailiffs of the underworld, come to escort your soul down to Diyu. And there, your case will be processed, reviewed, judged, and resolved, according to a vast cosmic accounting of everything you did in life. The Chinese underworld is, in a very real sense, the world's most elaborate courthouse. And it's run on one fundamental principle that governs everything that happens there: karma. The idea, absorbed deeply into Chinese belief, especially through Buddhism, that every good and evil act you commit in life is recorded and has consequences, that justice is real, exact, and inescapable. In Diyu, that cosmic justice is administered, case by case, soul by soul. Diyu is traditionally organized into 10 courts, each ruled by a king, the 10 Yama kings, the magistrate judges of the dead. The most famous of them is Yama, or Yang Luo Wang, the king of hell, who in many traditions presides over the whole system or sits as the chief judge. When your soul arrives, you're brought before the first court, where your life is reviewed. And the underworld has perfect records. In some traditions there's a great mirror of retribution, a mirror that, when a soul looks into it, reflects back not their face but the true sum of their deeds in life, showing every good and evil act they committed, so there can be no lying and no escape. Your entire life is laid bare and weighed. And then, based on that judgment, your soul is sent through the courts of Diyu for whatever is required. Now, this is where Western audiences often picture something like the Christian hell, but it's important to understand the difference, because it's profound. The various levels and chambers of Diyu, sometimes counted as the 10 courts, sometimes as many more sub-hells, 18 levels or more, do contain punishments, and the old descriptions of them are vivid and frightening: chambers of ice, of fire, of boiling cauldrons, of mountains of knives, of tongue-ripping for those who lied and slandered, and so on. The punishments are graphic. But here is the crucial point. These punishments are not eternal. They are not damnation. Diyu is much closer to a purgatory, or even a prison with sentences, than to an everlasting hell. Each soul is punished in proportion to its specific sins. The punishment fits the crime, precisely, for a set period, in order to expiate, to work off, the karmic debt accumulated in life. The purpose is not endless suffering for its own sake. The purpose is justice, balance, and purification. Once a soul has paid its debt and been cleansed, it moves on. Even the worst sinner is, ultimately, working toward release, toward the next stage of the journey. The reason Diyu is temporary is that it sits inside a much bigger picture, the wheel of reincarnation, the endless cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. In this worldview, your soul does not have just one life. It is born, lives, dies, passes through the underworld, and is then reborn into a new life, over and over, life after life, in a vast turning wheel. And the engine that drives this wheel is karma. The moral quality of your life determines the quality of your next one. Live a virtuous, kind, honorable life, and the cosmic accounting rewards you. You may be reborn into a fortunate new life, into a good family, into comfort, into health, into a higher and happier existence. Live a cruel, selfish, wicked life, and after paying your debt in the courts of Diyu, you may be reborn into a lower, harder existence, into poverty, into suffering, or even, in the traditional belief, into the body of an animal, descending the ladder of existence. So the underworld is really a sorting and rebalancing station. It reviews your life, administers whatever correction your karma requires, and then determines what you have earned for your next turn on the wheel. Reward and punishment are not handed out in some separate eternal heaven or hell, they're delivered through the circumstances of your next life. This is a fundamentally different way of imagining cosmic justice than the Western one. It's not one life followed by an eternal verdict. It's an ongoing process, a long journey of a soul through countless lives, slowly shaped by the moral weight of everything it does, with the ultimate hope, especially in the Buddhist understanding woven through it, of one day escaping the wheel entirely and achieving enlightenment. But for the vast majority of souls, the path leads not to escape, but simply to the next life. And before you can begin that next life, there is one final, unforgettable step. Having passed through the courts and been assigned the conditions of your next life, your soul approaches the final threshold before rebirth. And here, in the 10th court, at the very edge of the underworld, you encounter one of the most poignant figures in all of Chinese mythology, an old woman named Meng Po, Old Lady Meng, or sometimes called the Lady of Forgetfulness. Meng Po has a single, eternal task, and she has performed it for an unimaginable span of time. She sits beside the path that every soul must take to be reborn, often described as being near a bridge, the bridge of forgetfulness, or beside a river that souls must cross to leave the underworld and enter a new life. And to every single soul that passes, on its way to rebirth, Meng Po offers a bowl of soup. It is a special brew, sometimes said to be made from herbs gathered from across the underworld, a 5-flavored broth that is bitter and sweet and sour and pungent and salty all at once, the flavors of a whole lifetime. And this soup has one effect, it erases memory. Completely. When a soul drinks Meng Po's soup, it forgets everything. It forgets its past life entirely, the people it loved, the things it did, the joys and the sufferings, all of it. It forgets the underworld it just passed through, the courts, the judgments, the punishments. It forgets every previous life it ever lived. The soul is wiped clean, made blank, so that it can be born into its new life with no memory of what came before, a fresh start, an empty slate. And so every soul drinks the soup, crosses the bridge or the river, and steps forward into a new birth, remembering nothing. Think about what a profound and bittersweet idea this is. It's the mythological answer to a real question: why don't we remember our past lives? Because of Meng Po's soup. But it's also deeply moving. It means that every reunion is, in a sense, lost, that the people who loved each other in one life will meet again, perhaps, in the next, but will not know each other, will not remember. There are countless Chinese poems and stories that ache over this, lovers separated by death who will be reborn but will drink the soup and forget they ever knew each other. Some legends even tell of souls who beg Meng Po not to make them drink, who want to carry their love or their memory into the next life, and of the rare, sorrowful exceptions. The soup of forgetfulness is mercy and tragedy at the same time. It frees you from the weight and pain of all your past lives, but it also takes from you everyone and everything you ever knew. So let's step back and look at the whole journey: death, the descent into a vast bureaucratic underworld, the review of your life before the 10 kings, punishment precisely fitted to your sins but not eternal, the rebalancing of your karma, the assignment of your next life, the soup that erases your memory, and finally rebirth into a new existence, and then, eventually, the whole cycle again. What does this vision say about life and morality? A few things, and they're strikingly different from the Western picture. First, justice in this worldview is exact, inescapable, and built into the structure of the universe itself. There is no getting away with anything. Every deed is recorded, every soul is reviewed in a mirror that cannot be fooled, the accounting is perfect. This was, in part, a moral teaching, a powerful incentive to live a good and honest life, because the consequences were certain. Be kind, be honest, be filial and just, and the universe will reward you in your next life. Be cruel and deceitful, and you will pay for it, precisely, with no escape. Second, and beautifully, punishment is never the final word. Because Diyu is temporary and the wheel keeps turning, even the worst soul is ultimately working its way toward release and another chance. The system is built around correction and rebalancing, not around eternal condemnation. There's a kind of cosmic optimism in that, the belief that no one is beyond redemption forever, that every soul gets another turn. And third, there's that haunting, humane idea at the very end, that before each new life, we are mercifully relieved of the unbearable weight of all our previous ones. Imagine carrying the full memory of dozens or hundreds of lifetimes, every loss, every grief, every person you ever watched die. Meng Po's soup is, in a way, a mercy. It lets each life begin fresh, unburdened. But it comes at the cost of every memory and every connection you ever made. The Chinese afterlife, then, isn't really about a final destination at all. It's about a journey, a long, moral, endlessly renewing journey of the soul, shaped at every step by how you choose to live, with justice woven into its very fabric, and with both the comfort and the sorrow of starting over, again and again. It's one of the most thoughtful and least known visions of life and death that humanity has ever produced. So the Chinese underworld isn't a simple heaven or hell, it's a vast, just, and strangely hopeful system where even hell is temporary, justice is exact, and every soul, after paying its debts and forgetting its past, gets to begin again. It's a vision of death that's really a vision of how to live, as if every act is recorded, because in this worldview, it is. If you've enjoyed this journey through Chinese mythology, there's one more story we have to tell about the most misunderstood creatures in the East, the dragons who are not monsters but gods. Subscribe, and I'll see you there.